You see this pillow? This pillow is a representation of the Indianapolis Colts this year. Soft as can be. Guys, let's just jump right into it. I am angry. I am mad right now because the Indianapolis Colts are an unmitigated disaster this year. I mean, my goodness, after this thwomping against the Jacksonville Jaguars where the Colts got outperformed in every department, offense, defense, offensive line, defensive line, these guys at the Colts were supposed to be paying a lot. They're supposed to be top players at their positions, are absolutely atrocious. This team, once again, you would have thought the first time when the Indianapolis Colts got their butts kicked down in Jacksonville last year, you would have thought it lit a fire under this team's butt. Not so. No, the Indianapolis Colts decided, hey, the first time was fun. Let's do it again. Except this time, let's not score any points at all. And guys, I am out on this awful, awful regime. Frank Reich, he needs to be gone this year. He should not be the Indianapolis Colts coach coming here very soon. Now, it's not typically the Colts' way, right, to let go of their coach, but I think this is the exception to the rule. You have to set a statement this early on in the season that this crap is not acceptable. Frank Reich and his staff just awful again on Sunday. The Colts could not do anything. The Colts could not do anything in terms of running the football, throwing the football, pass protecting, playing any sort of defense. Oh, yeah, you remember, guys, how the Colts were talking all about, oh, we're going to get some good pass rush this year. You know, we brought in Gus Bradley. You know, we brought in Yannick Ngakoue. We're going to be so much better in the pass rush department. They had 0 sacks against Trevor Lawrence. They pressured him only 10% of his dropbacks, guys. 10% of his dropbacks. Trevor Lawrence was under pressure. By far the lowest of his career. And what happened? Trevor Lawrence was virtually perfect against the Colts. He just completely shredded them once again. And guys, the Colts have now been outscored multiple times, shut out again. The last game they got shut out was, if you remember, in Jacksonville in 2018. And guys, this regime, it just can't keep continuing. This trend can't keep continuing. I'm trying to just keep it composed right now because I'm just so mad at the incompetence of this whole team. And, let's talk about the players real fast. Kenny Moore, you paraded all offseason about how you wanted to get paid. What'd you do? You got beat. Again, you played poorly. Again, Kenny Moore has not looked good since week 14 of last year, maybe even earlier than that. His last 4 or 5 games, he's been awful. He's been one of the worst cornerbacks in the league. He continues to get shredded. We talk all the time about how he's the best slot corner in the league. He has looked like the worst slot corner in the league recently. It's just been absolutely atrocious. Like I talked about, no pass rush at all. You've invested, essentially a first-round pick into DeForest Buckner. He did nothing today. Talk about Yannick Ngakoue did nothing today. Kwity Paye did nothing today. None of these guys were creating pressure. Again, it's a common trend you notice with the Colts. They can never create consistent pressure. They were not able to do it again on Sunday. And how about all the other guys? Julian Blackmon, we talked all about him. Where was he? He dropped an easy interception. Things like that where the Colts just were so stupid. They were so stupid. They could not do anything. And why are we not throwing the ball? Why is Matt Ryan looking so bad? So indecisive? Why is he throwing 3 interceptions against Jacksonville? Why are the offensive line consistently getting beat? The unit that you've invested so much money and so much resources in continues to get beat time and time again. Guys, I'm going to say this. A lot of people said the Colts had one of the best offensive lines in the league coming into this year. I think they have one of the worst ones right now if you look at the stats, right? It's awful. It's horrendous. I think Matt Pryor should not see another snap at left tackle. I want to see Bernhard Raimann because you can't get much worse than what Matt Pryor's put on the field so far. My goodness, Ryan Kelly being one of the highest paid centers, he's looked bad. Quentin Nelson's been the only decent player on that offensive line. Danny Penter has been terrible right guard. Braden Smith continues to get worked. Guys, this is a disaster right now. An absolute disaster. And let's just transition now to talking about Chris Ballard. Talk about negligence and talk about having a big head. Chris Ballard, coming into this offseason, did not address offensive line. He let 2 of your starters last year at right guard go. 2 guys that were some of the best guards in football. You let them walk for pennies on the dime for some odd reason in favor of Danny Penter, who has been terrible. right? And then what do? You don't go address wide receiver outside of Alec Pierce. You had multiple opportunities to go get wide receivers that can make a real difference on this team. And you did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. We said it all off season. I've been on the sign the veteran wide receiver thing for weeks and months because of this very reason, right? Alec Pierce, as good as he might be, he is a rookie. You cannot rely on him. You need to go get guys that can take the pressure off of Michael Pittman. In the event that Pittman's out like he was today, you need another guy out there that Matt Ryan can consistently throw to. You didn't have that. You didn't go out and do that. You didn't address tight end at all, in terms of getting an impact guy. So all these units, Chris Ballard has just completely neglected. And oh, by the way, he neglected getting a kicker last week, which cost you that game. He just continues to not address positions. And it feels like we're going backwards at this point because Chris Ballard has talked all the time, guys, about investing in the trenches, continue to build in the trenches. Well, the Colts' trenches are terrible right now. They're some of the worst in the league right now. Even for all you've invested, your return has been nothing close to what it should be. That should really get the Colts thinking, get Jim Irsay thinking, like maybe this guy isn't as smart as he thinks he is and everybody says he is because, guys, it's going in the wrong direction, right? And I just don't think this can continue. These trends, the Colts have become so predictable. They just forget to play football when it matters most. And if you want to be the best team in the league or one of the best teams in the league or a perennial playoff team, guys, these things can't happen. These things can't happen. And I'm just kind of sick and tired of sitting up here making excuses defending because let's look at the records overall. Since Chris Ballard and Frank Reich have gotten here, the Colts have won one playoff game. They've gone to the playoff twice. They've won one playoff game. They've won 0 division titles. They've won 0 opening games. They've won 0 times in Jacksonville. And last year they had an epic collapse. And again, they're starting 0-1-1, right? So the Colts, again, through the first 2 weeks are winless. Guys, I'm getting to the point where I'm just done with this incompetence. I'm done with the talking. I'm done with just saying, oh, we'll be better next week. Because you're not better next week. You never are better next week. I'm sick and tired of it, guys. The Colts need to make a change. I don't know if they're going to make a change this week. Probably not, if I'm guessing. But nevertheless, I am done with this organization in terms of this regime. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing about the same boring excuses. This is very Chuck Pagano-esque, kind of his final days of Indianapolis. And so I think, guys, it's time for a change. But, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you done with this unmitigated disaster that is the 2022 Indianapolis Colts? Are you ready to move on from the Frank Reich, Chris Ballard era like I am? Let me know all these things in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I'm sure I'm speaking to the choir here in a lot of ways with some of the points that I brought up. And, guys, we're all kind of suffering together right now. So this is just kind of a frustrating time to be a Colts fan. After all this hype in the offseason to see this team basically lay 2 eggs in a row here. So let me know, guys, your thoughts in the comments below. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, guys, go Colts.